Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a category of lures that, just like many other categories of lures, they used to really have a specific season that the majority of people would throw them in. And in this case, it's generally colder water, you know, the pre-spawn, wintertime. That's kind of when this category of bait really shined. But in recent years, I've really started using it in many other different situations throughout the year, even the hottest months of the summer. And I think a lot of people have too. And we're talking about jerkbaits, suspending jerkbaits specifically. This right here is my number one jerkbait box, which means that it's the number one box that I reach for when I want to catch a jerkbait fish. And as you can see right here, I've got a lot of different baits in there. Let me pull one out. So this bait right here, so I'm not sponsored by a hard bait company at all, but this Berkeley Stunna really has become one of my favorite jerk baits. I caught a 10 1/4 last year on it. In fact, the biggest fish for the first few months I caught on this bait, caught several 7s, caught that 10 1/4. It's just a really cool jerk bait. I'm not saying it's the best jerk bait on the market, but I'm pretty impressed by it overall. But you know, it always used to be that during the pre-spawn and winter time, that's when I used a suspending jerkbait. It's just a really good bait that can have the ability to stay in the strike zone for a very long time, just sit in front of those fish's nose, and you know, you're not taking it out of their striking range very quickly, which is why it's so good in cold water. But recently, there's a few different scenarios that really have opened my eyes to how useful this tool is the rest of the season. The first scenario that is actually pretty applicable to this certain color right here is smallmouth fishing. You know, when I go up north, we definitely every single year will go up to some northern smallmouth fishery. Last year it was Lake Champlain. We've been up to St. Clair. So many different smallmouth fisheries up north. And one of a smallmouth's favorite baits to just absolutely clobber is a jerkbait, especially when it looks like a perch, like this one does really well. Perch is one of the smallmouth's favorite prey species. And ever since I've been going up north for tournaments on lakes like specifically like Champlain, I've been to Champlain a lot. This has been a bait that I can recall putting big smallmouth in the box during key parts of tournaments. So it's definitely become one of my absolute favorites. And one of the things about a jerkbait during the summer for smallmouth is that as opposed to fishing for bass during the coldest months, you know, I'm talking like 55 degrees or lower, usually the range is between 45 degrees and 55 degrees. That's kind of the jerkbait range in the early season. But up north, fishing for smallmouth, I'm fishing this very quickly. I'm really not stopping it at all. A lot of times I'll put it on spinning gear because I feel like I can fish it faster. And just really ripping it, just trying to get a vicious strike out of those really aggressive smallmouth. And so a jerkbait is definitely one that I reach for all year round when I'm focusing on smallmouth. Of course, during early season, the water is too hard to be throwing anything really other than something you could drop vertically. But during the summertime, man, this is not a bait you want to leave back at home, because it will catch a lot of great fish. And so I'm going to keep this one out. I don't know why I put it back. But the other scenario that really has become popular in recent years, and I know I'm going to get a lot of comments, a lot of hate on talking about forward-facing sonar, but forward-facing sonar, Panoptix Livescope, you know, Mega Live, whatever brand you're using, that is a type of technology that has really brought the jerkbait into the limelight once again. You know, in recent years, there's been a bunch of different tournament wins that are accredited to using Livescope and fishing a jerkbait. And a lot of people are fishing it in just, you know, random, you know, stump flats or standing timber flats. and targeting specific fish. And the reason why the jerkbait is so good is because you can read the fish's body language on your screen, and you can manipulate the action of the bait to you know, appeal to that individual fish. You know, if it starts losing, you know, interest in the bait and starts kind of stopping its approach, you can adjust your presentation to be able to get that strike. And there's not a lot of baits that can imitate a bait fish so well and also be able to be manipulated in such a way that you can get a particular fish to bite under most circumstances. So, you know, a lot of guys have won tournaments doing this. Seeing a fish that's just kind of cruising around, that was a bee, just seeing a fish that's kind of cruising around and casting a jerkbait to that specific fish. So that has become very popular. Even down in Okeechobee this year, I think the Elite Series was won. Tyler Rivette, I think he won doing the same exact thing, throwing a jerkbait in the Kissimmee River, of all places. Kissimmee River hasn't played since 2006 and 2007. It's just crazy to see somebody winning off a Livescope on the one lake that I would assume nobody would be winning on with Livescope. It's all about the grass, but he did it. He won with a jerkbait. So a jerkbait has definitely been broadened as far as the situations that you can use it in and do very, very well. And we have Livescope to be thanked for that, and also smallmouth, those lovely, wonderful little creatures. I love those bronze fish, and they love jerkbaits too. So anyways, guys, those are just some thoughts on some of the scenarios that still play a big role. You don't have to just fish a jerkbait during the coldest months of the year. You don't have to put it away to get dust on the box that you have. You keep it in your boat, and under certain circumstances, it can be a killer bait even during the hottest months of the year. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you drop a comment below if you have any questions. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Trust the process, and I'm going to see you out on the water. Take care.